People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe, whoever you are, wherever you are. I'm doing great on this Thursday morning. My shirt isn't, as you can see, every day I wear this. You know, we're at day now. People probably think I'm rocking some fake thing or something. I probably need to go and buy another one and hang this one up permanently, retirement in my wardrobe. But it's at least decent for videos and whatnot. But moving forward, people, again, I can't verify this information, but it's something that fills me with joy. There are rumours circulating that Balogun at Arsenal, you know, the striker, you know, he's had a good season. You saw him grab a couple against Man United's 23s, and he's been scoring goals for a number of years now in our academy. Is close to signing a new deal. Now again, I only see these reports online. I can't verify this. You know, people that are in the know and whatever have said there's an announcement due. I know for a fact that apparently from people I speak to, there is an extension clause in Balogun's contract to extend it. I'm not sure if that's being invoked. I'm not too sure if that's actually valid, even though I do trust the person. I'm not too sure if it's that or a new deal. Now maybe if he does have the 2-year deal or the extension of another 2-year, like I remember a certain other Arsenal player got activated, I could understand what appears to be a calm and a laxed approach from Arsenal in not dealing with the situation. Because, you know, for Arsenal fans, we're looking at it scary. You know, he rejected 5 million last year. He's free to talk to people as it still stands, and unless information arises before this video comes out, can talk to people in January. And for me, you know, I think he could have a future here. I think he deserves a pathway, and then it's down to him to prove it. I think it would have been an L. You know, you have two options. You either give him an opportunity to progress to the first team, which I think he needs to be patient with. I think he's ready to be exposed to first team level, but I'm not too sure if he's ready to start a Premier League game. That's a whole different ball game. What was I gonna lost my trail of thought with happiness? But yeah, you know, while he might not be at the level right now, there's a pathway, and it'd be a static to keep him. And for me, you either make sure there's a pathway for these players, or definitely in Balogun's case, someone that's highly sought after. You had Brentford and Sheffield. Make sure you get some decent money. It costs us a couple of million to keep this academy going, like the whole operation and costs. So go and make sure your academy pays for itself. And if you sold him for 5 to 10 million for a player that hasn't played first team football at the time of making this vid, while it would annoy me, people, and would bug me out, I could get behind it. Like I said, I think it would be an L, because I think Balogun's got a future now. Potential is just potential. What he does with his potential is down to him. You know, he's got to prove he needs he needs to prove that he's worthy of a pathway. And I do think fans that don't necessarily watch youth football, they put players at a level that they're not. Like, I'm not saying Miguel Aziz and Balogun are not going to be first teamers. Lord knows I want them to be, and I believe they've earned the right to be in and around. They're not of the level fans are putting them yet. You know, they're still developing. You know, Miguel Aziz, you know, he would struggle if he was thrown into the Premier League right now. I'd back him to thrive. I think he's a great player. You know, I think he needs development, but, you know, he's very naive on the ball at times. You know, defensively, he's got a lot of work to go down, and he needs to work on when to keep it simple. Same goes for Balogun. He can score goals for fun. His general play has always been decent, but in the last 18 months it's improved. You know, can his hold-up play improve? His hold-up play is good. Can he take it to the next level? Can he diversify his game? You know, can he even, you know, because the pathway to first team up front, you could say there's a pathway, you could say there isn't. You know, he can actually play out wide. That could be an avenue for him moving forward. You know, for Arsenal, it's a great problem. You know, Balogun, Tyrese, Eddie and Ketty are three potential first team strikers. You know, I do believe 2 of the 3 names should make it. I think Tyrese and Balogun have a higher ceiling. Balogun have a higher ceiling, but it's not about that. Eddie's ahead of all of them right now. He's playing first team football. He's doing what these players would wish to be doing. I do think 2 of the 3 can progress to first team. I do think if all 3 work to make it, we need to be making 20 million minimum on these players. And I say that, you need to be making cake. I believe in Balogun. I think he's got a future at Arsenal. I hope to God this information about a new deal is true. Again, I can't verify it, and I hope it is true. But it's a static, because for me, you're protecting your players. You know, you're protecting the club. And you give us something. You know, when I remove my Arsenal hat though, and my excitement for him staying, and I you know, if he thinks this is the best place for his development, I think it is too. You know, he's trained with the first team. Can he play to the point where he can't be ignored anymore, and he has to be elevated to the first team and train with them and potentially play with them? That's the next step. You know, I do think he's left under 23's level. If he does sign a new deal, I'm keen to see what happens, whether he'll be integrated on a full-time basis in the first team or on a more frequent basis, or if he'll go out on loan because he's got interest from other clubs. I do think his speed of thought can improve and needs to improve his game intelligence to that next level if he plays first team. But I think he's only going to get that by being exposed to first team football. And I think Balogun's shown, you know, he can duppy under 23s football. He's left it. He's scoring goals for fun. He scores bangers. He scores tap-ins. He scores important goals. He's left it. He needs to play against grown men that are faster than him, physically stronger than him. Their speed of thought is thinking than him, where he can't rely on, you know, what's been doing the business for him at 23s. He might have to switch it up. Like I was saying before I started losing my trail of thought, people, like I said, I'm ecstatic as an Arsenal fan or anyone connected with the club because we have a potential first teamer or someone that's going to make money for this club if he keeps developing. When I remove my Arsenal cap and I look at, you know, away from it and look at what might be best for the player, again, Arsenal could be the best place for your development if you feel you're learning here, if you feel, you know, training with Aubameyang and Lacazette, getting in Arteta's thoughts is what he wants to do and what's good for him and he feels good and comfortable. That's great. But equally, if I was his advisor, I'd say to him, you know, I believe in you all the way, but let's do up the maths. Aubameyang plays on the left and up front. You know, he signed a new 3-year deal. Lacazette very well might not be here in a year and the landscape could change. But you've got him. You've now got similar age Eddie and Nketiah complicating things. You've got Martinelli who can play on the left as well as up front. You know, we look at it based on what was used. You know, again, you can't draw conclusions, but William was used as a false 9. And then when you add into it, you know, you've got Eddie, Tyrese and yourself, where you lot are crabs in a barrel. You're all in a little bucket together trying to crawl out and be the striker sort of thing. So when I look at the sheer bodies, you know, is it congested? How much minutes is he expected to play? And regardless of what Arsenal might tell me about my development and a pathway and any quote-unquote promises, does the maths back it up? Like I just listed bare man that play up front. Not everybody can play, and realistically Balogun's a young player. At least initially he has to do up Europa League and all of these sort of things. So if you do up the maths, is this the best place for your development? Are you going to be stuck with under 23s? That's a question for him to answer, and one that I don't think has an easy answer. But as an Arsenal fan, if these rumours are true and he has signed a new deal, then for me it's happy because we've been seeing players leave. We saw Yunus Musa leave and he's doing very good at Valencia. You know, we've seen Gnabry leave for pennies. We've seen Benatia leave for pennies. You know, players that haven't reached their full potential and might not even be in their full potential now, but they're definitely doing more elsewhere. Like for me, he might not be everyone's pick, but Josh De Silva at Brentford. Again, I love Joe Willock as a guy, but, you know, and Josh was offered a new deal and wanted to leave, but you have to wonder why it got to that point. You know, I can't understand how Joe Willock's in the first team, but Josh De Silva isn't. Josh has more talent in abundance than him, and I think he's even taking his under-21s thingy. And that's not me to criticise Willock. You know me, I love my Highland talents. I'm happy with William in the academy. Once again, you know, hopefully by the time this video officially comes out, we have official confirmation. But once again, it's all speculation and just rumours doing the rounds on social media. But I will be over the moon if we can confirm the extension of Balogun, because again, him and Nketiah, Tyrese, these players have to be given an opportunity to progress to first team or make us some money. And if I was looking at the Europa League, again, this might be too early, but if there was people that I'm going to give opportunities to, Balogun is someone I want in and around the team. Ben Cottrell is another one. I believe Miguel Aziz is also a third that these guys would be in and around and training and potentially making their debuts. You know, for Balogun, you know, for the fans, we can always question why isn't he training with the first team on a more consistent basis and all of these things. He's got all the talent in the world, but at the same time, we're not on the training ground. You know, Balogun's got to ask himself, why aren't I? You know, what do I need to do to train on a more regular basis, to be in the Europa League thoughts, to complicate things for Arteta to think, okay, cool, I've got thingy, you know, I've got Eddie and Tyrese is on loan, but I've got Balogun, I need to involve him. You know, this is the years, not just Balogun, but if I'm Balogun, if I'm Tyrese, if I'm Eddie, if I'm Zach Medley, Coyle, a bunch of these under 23s on loan, they need to start doing what they need to do for each year, looking a dramatically better player. You know, I'm not too sure Balogun's going to develop too much this season beyond, you know, just getting better and scoring goals, because I don't think he's tested too tough at this level. It's easy for him. Even when we've lost at this level, he scored goals, you know. It's a bit like Tyrese and Eddie and Joe before them. You know, when you get past a certain level, you're bullying it. I think Miguel Aziz is slowly getting to that. He needs to dominate 23's football more often than that. You know, he's not a regular starter per se right now, but he's getting there, and long before not, he'll need a level. It's like Matt Smith, you know, half these players that went on loan at Arsenal at 23's level, they needed to, car. They're bullying this level, they're not developing, and I think Balogun's that. So if he stays, I'm keen to see what happens. Does he go on loan in January? You know, I'm not too sure what the club see, but I wouldn't mind him going out on loan. You know, our under 23's would be weaker, but we can't really care about our under 23 season like that, like where we finish. You know, the end goal is how we develop these players, and we've got to do what we can to make sure Balogun develops either for a first team player here or make us some money elsewhere. And I think, you know, when I look at Tyrese has gone League One, you know, Medley League One, Coyle League One, Smith League One, Bagger Defenders League One, I don't see why Balogun can't get on that as well and go and play football, because I think that's what he needs, you know, in the short term. So we'll see what happens, people. But in that regards, I've offered my opinion, so allow me to keep it moving. Like I said before, good morning. I hope you're well and safe. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and do the rest. Either way, DG, I'm out.